ladies, this was a huge, huge, huge night. I had chills just watching it from the screen. I can't imagine what was going through your head. All tens. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. I haven't felt such a moment like I felt tonight I think forever. I've never had that feeling before, of feeling so proud, so connected, and so like we did it together. And it felt so good. I mean, before, when our package was playing, a funny picture of us came on that I actually sent to the producers at the last minute. And it made it in the package, and I was like, look up, like, look at it. And she looks at me with these big teary eyes, and she's like, I can't look right now. And that just set the tone of the number for me. And that made me just flood with memories that we've had in the last 7 weeks, and just left everything on the floor from 7 weeks in 1 minute and 20 seconds. And it just felt so magical.
I know I was welling up watching the package, but then when you both danced and that song played, oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed with emotion myself. JoJo, you sort of teased earlier that this week was going to be about friendship, your blossoming friendship, and how you and Jenna have really bonded. So what does this connection mean to you?
Everything. I told Jenna as we were walking to the stage today, I said, thank you for being my best friend. I literally would take bullet for you. I have had friends, I've had sisters, I've had all that in my life, but never somebody who's been my best friend, been my big sister, and made me a better version of myself, and made me look at myself differently and think about myself differently in a positive way. Actually, this is what I was going to tell you earlier, is my parents were crying. And I think the reason why my parents were crying was because how I opened up in the package, they didn't even know about that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like the way that you've gotten me to open up and change the way I think about myself, something that I'm forever grateful for.
Oh, now I'm going to cry.
Really is my big sister. Even though it's been 7 weeks, it's been 18 years.
You're adopted. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you have that instant
JoJo
connection,
Johnson,
right?
It works.
Yeah, JoJo Johnson. That's cute.
Jenna, you were getting very emotional in the package today. And at one point, I think you said that you've been feeling very protective of JoJo. Why do you feel like you have that older sister protectiveness over her?
I have 2 older sisters myself, and they basically raised me in the dance world. And it's a scary place and can sometimes be a hard and difficult and very insecure place. And so I now feel that responsibility towards JoJo, especially in this space, but even just social media and life in general, I just feel very protective, and I want to keep her safe. I want to plug her ears. I want to turn off her phone when there's mean comments.
We even get a correction, she instantly will be like, it's okay, we're okay. Like, just so good to me.
There for you for all the big moments, right?
I remember when I was scrolling through the comments on our first video, I said, swoop, she took over. She was like,
I can imagine, especially with the 2 of you making such history, Jenna, it was probably a moment for you of really having to, stand strong and tall next to JoJo, because I'm sure there were a lot of comments coming from every direction. I know we spoke to you a couple weeks ago and you guys were saying you weren't sure what the reaction was going to be like. Luckily, you've gotten a lot of positive reaction, but Jenna, how's it been for you to, be that shoulder for JoJo in the good and the bad times?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say that one of my biggest fears going into the season was going to be the negative reactions from everyone. Yeah. Because I just didn't know. I know how brutal people can be, and I just didn't know what to expect and what was going to be said. But again, meeting JoJo the second we met, I've forgotten about all of that. Ironically enough, none of it matters anymore. And I stand so tall and very proudly next to her. And she is my partner, and I can't imagine doing this season with anybody else. So, yeah.
You 2 have the most energy on the dance floor. I swear, every time I watch you 2 riff off each other, I'm like, man, I would be like out of breath. I'm just like tired looking at the 2 of you with all of your energy. Jenna, you had mentioned this week that JoJo is unlike any of your other partners. How is she different, or what does she bring to the dance floor that has been different for you?
I think the fact that we're both females and we both have crazy hormones is something that I can really connect with, and that I haven't been able to with a lot of my partners. No, it's just, again, I've said this before, but I really do see an 18-year-old Jenna inside of her. And there are so many things that I wish I would have done, wish I could have said, which I would have just done better. And so to see her doing them far better, beyond anything I could have, is just so awesome. And I can't wait to see where she goes. She has so much potential. She's so talented. But to be able to dance with her is unlike anything I've ever experienced. You know, we're flying on that floor, and I don't take that for granted.
I'm sure JoJo, I mean, I'm just guessing here, but I feel like people probably forget that you're 18. Does that happen? Do you feel like people think that you're wise beyond your years, you're so mature. Do people really kind of forget that you really are an 18-year-old?
When the cast here found out that I was 18, they were like, no, you're not, you're lying. I mean, I remember I was talking to all the celebrities here, and they were like, we all thought you were 21. And I was like, no, I'm only 18.
She's an old soul.
It's interesting. I've never had people my own age in my life. I've never had teenagers around me when I was a teenager, kids around me when I was a kid. I've always been around older people, and I've always gravitated towards older people. And so I've been told for a long time, you're 27-year-old women. And I take that as a compliment. I think it's a good thing. But I mean, I still have my fun little kid moments where Jenna will be like, oh my God, you're 18. And I'll be like, yep, I am.
You have to embrace those moments. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit here for some fun stuff. I've been seeing all of your TikToks, but one that caught my eye, I think you posted a couple of days ago, JoJo, was when you were saying that Jenna wouldn't do a dance unless you nailed a TikTok dance, unless you nailed the foxtrot dance 5 times. What was going on there?
Well, okay, so I come into rehearsals and I normally have a TikTok planned, and I'm normally really pumped up about it. But this one was like another level of pumped up because I knew it was outside of our comfort zone. And like, now you know how I feel every week. Anyways, come in, I show the dance. She's like, I'm not doing that. And I was settled with it. I was like, okay, we'll do the one where it's like, I'll just like kind of do it and you just be mad. I was like, all I need is for you to be mad. Did that. And then she was like, all right, fine. And I was like,
no, you didn't leave it alone. You didn't leave it. You're like, please, will you do it? You'll do it great. I was just like, no.
You kept saying no.
So then
finally she was like, all right, listen. And I was like, hold on, gotta get my phone out. So I was like, listen, what? And you were like, if you do it 5 times, I knew where she was going with this. I was pumped up. We did our dance once, dogged the first 8 count. Awful.
We had to start over.
Yeah, not nailing it.
So I didn't think we were gonna get to 5.
But
we did. And I had to learn this hideous TikTok dance.
I love that you called it hideous. And even in JoJo's TikTok, you're like, hideous dance.
Actually not. It's really fun. It did really good.
It's fun, but like those moves I would never do.
The price you pay to get those 10s, you guys, you did it.
8.7 million views.
On that video, I'm cringe.
6.7 on the one where you don't do it, and 7.2 on the one where you're talking about it.
Jenna, it paid off. You got the 10s out of her, so.
I'm a TikTok star. What can I say?
Is that what you have to do now? You have to bribe JoJo with TikTok dances to get her to really get the 10 out of her?
No, she just does it herself, but she'll bribe me with the TikTok dances.
Somebody actually commented something, and it was like, I wonder how bad Jenna struggles with trying to keep JoJo on task. And I was like, that's what the world thinks to me.
No, just because you have a lot of energy.
When it's time to focus,
she's focused.
Whatever gets the 10s. You guys, no one can see anything at this point because Carrie Ann said you were perfect. The scores reflected that way. So tonight was a great night. Talk about just doing this dance together when you have your friendship that you've cultivated and then bringing these characters to life in Frenchie and Sandy as friends also.
It's funny, we were actually supposed to do a different song and we last minute got switched. And at first I was really upset about it because I loved our first song. But the second I sent the song to JoJo and we both started listening to the lyrics,
When we realized it was our story.
it just fell into place and fit perfectly for our relationship. JoJo, how she's transformed, and so it just was so perfect, and it felt really real and authentic for us to be able to dance it together.
Well, thank you, ladies. It was so nice to talk to you. Good luck.
Thank
next
you.
year. We're going to be watching and cheering for you. Bring in the
Thank
energy
you.
as always, I'm sure.